So let's see how Sharon helped her clients update their dated interior and bring it into the new millennium.
This house was built in the late 80s when the style was lots of rooms, lots of different flooring, and a lot of different paint colors. Now the new homeowners are doing a huge renovation. They're going to take out some walls, really open up the space, and I am so excited to help them with paint colors.
This home feels completely different than the one I walked into a few months ago. Taking down the walls really transformed the space, and having the consistent flooring really laid the foundation for a much more harmonious color palette. Now I used one main wall color throughout to really help connect these rooms that are now open to one another. The kitchen, the coffee bar, the lounge, and of course the living room. Smoky green is a really nice gentle mix of green, blue, and gray, so it gives it a really neutral quality that helps pair well with the dark wood floor, the heavier furnishings, and even the classic new white kitchen. Now it's always important to balance and repeat, so I was inspired by the white kitchen cabinets and used steam, a nice white, to lighten things up on the ceiling, the trim, and also where we painted out the original brick fireplace. Even in an open concept space, there's room for more than one color. This dining room was calling out for a rich wall color with its beautiful but heavy furnishings. So I chose a rich navy called Mysterious on all of the walls, and it really helps to anchor the pieces and add some drama to this space. Now I then repeated Mysterious on the front door, the back patio door, and even on some soft furnishings, a throw, and some cushions on the sofa. Before, the home felt a little dated and disjointed, but with the homeowner's vision to really open up the space, it allowed us to breathe new life into it with colors and materials that feel fresh, have personality, and really flow.
Okay, that is gorgeous, Sharon. It made such a difference to open up that space and then add one cohesive color throughout the space. Good, well done.
Thank you. It really does make a big difference, doesn't it, when you see it like that?
Yeah.
I think that whether you're doing a huge reno like they were, or you're even just doing a little simple paint makeover, choosing colors is so daunting, right?
It is, and you know that I know it is because I lean on you quite a bit for choosing a color palette. So you've got some guidelines that are going to help me and the viewers. And your first one is to understand your space. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so understanding the space might sound a little obvious, but you have to think about when is a space being used, who's using it, what time of day is it being used, and most importantly, what is actually in the space, like what's staying there. So you really want to take an assessment of all of those things. And in this case, the homeowners had their existing leather sofa.
Okay.
They had new flooring, which we saw made a huge difference.
Yeah.
There was a new accent with the quartz countertop, so that's like a nice dark accent. They had the white kitchen cabinet, so that's going to make a difference. They had their existing brick, which we had to contend with for a while, and then the area rug. So that was also something that that sort of we started with. So you want to think about all of those elements, and then you want to think about the mood. Like, this is the fun part, right? How do you want to feel when you go into that room?
Yes.
Are there colors that you really like or that you dislike? You know, you love that yellow. Do you want to live with it in your space? You got to think about those things. And then what's your inspiration? So again, in this particular case, the homeowners love this new bright and airy layout, so they wanted to bring that feeling, they wanted to accentuate that even more with light and airy colors. They wanted that modern farmhouse, which worked really well with a lot of their materials. So you want to think about that as far as the mood as well.
And you can tell you accomplished that goal, but then when I think modern farmhouse, I think white. You know, you do think white. You don't think a lot of color, but you were able to like get some color into the space and still make it very modern farmhouse.
It's about balance, right? And I think we see a lot of images with white and black modern farmhouse look, and it is very streamlined and minimal, but it doesn't have to be white. You can still use a neutral color palette. The key is that you want the materials, like the wide planked floors that are popular in modern farmhouse, the reclaimed wood and other metals and salvage materials. You want those to really kind of be the story, so the colors kind of sit back and you build your color palette around those things.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, we understand the space, we understand what's in it, we have an idea of the mood. Are we ready to pick the colors yet?
Finally. Okay, we can start thinking about colors now, Trace.
Okay.
But you know what? You really want to think about everything together. So I like to give some parameters, not rules, but parameters. So I like to suggest up to 5 colors in a room. And this is sort of a good guideline, right?
Yeah.
But then you got to go back to those fixed elements that are in the room that we were talking about. And each of those counts as a color.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to think about each of those elements in the color, and this is where you want to start building like a sample board.
Yes.
And it's not just for designers, homeowners should do this too. So
Okay.
sort of build your sample board with what you have and think about them all as having color. So we know that we have this beautiful leather sofa and the flooring. They're kind of similar, so we'll just give them one color for now.
Yeah.
And then we have the overall counter material, right? Like it's kind of got a lot of black in it, but a gray, so we've got a color in there too, Iron Mountain. We have our rug, which is kind of feeling like a natural linen tone, like it's sort of
It's like a taupey
warm
color there.
Exactly, exactly. And then of course we had our beautiful white kitchen cabinets, which was really important for them to have. So again, we've got all of these elements, they've all got these colors, and then of course we had the brick and some accents of black.
Okay.
So you want to think from these pieces, where can you start to pick paint colors? So to me, all of these are pretty much neutral. The sofa, the area rug had a lot of really beautiful colors. So we didn't want white, gray, or beige. That was one thing they wanted to kind of change because they had darker colors before. They wanted a bit of color. So I looked to the rug and thought, you know what, we can pull some of the cooler tones out of that rug. And this is smoky green. So that worked out really nicely. It's not gray, but it's got enough of a muted feel to it that it'll work for the wall. So this is where you look at everything you have and think about how you can tweak it.
One of these things are not like the other.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what do you take out?
Well, the brick. I know you can paint brick.
Work.
So as soon as we painted it, look at that.
Now it all works together.
Right?
Beautiful. So you've got some browns, you've got like a little touch of the gray-green happening, you've got the darker black, and then you've got white.
Yes.
And now it works, now we're there. I think this is a great tip, and I think it's amazing that you found the paint to match the thing.
Well, isn't it easier than carrying this around in your purse when you're looking for other materials, right? So it's important. Carry around a fan deck if you can, even if you're not Sharon Grech. You can get one.
Absolutely. So next is apply the palette. Right?
So now you think about all the painted surfaces in the house. So you've got the ceiling, the walls, the trim, the doors, sometimes the fireplace. Maybe you've want an accent color somewhere. So this is when, again, you look at all of your materials and you think, okay, we painted that fireplace, steam. I was inspired by the cabinet, so we're going to use that for the ceiling and the trim. It doesn't have to be white, but because I've got this beautiful smoky green color, which is a nice fresh color for the walls, I thought steam would be perfect to kind of bring that overall onto the ceiling and trim. We've got our wall color. We don't need any more of this color because we've got a lot of that in the finishes. So now thinking about an accent, they wanted an accent color. And that dining room was a perfect place to do it. As much as I love the dark in here, I want to keep that as an accent. So I didn't want to use Iron Mountain as sort of a color, paint color accent. So this is where you can be creative. I pulled out some colors from Benjamin Moore's 2022 color trends. And we've all been loving the Mysterious, which is a deep navy.
It's gorgeous.
So it kind of still has the weight that a black or a dark gray would have, but it feels a little softer, a little more welcoming, which really just suit the more relaxed farmhousey feel in this space. So that's what we went with for the accent color.
So this is where you go and you take a little bit of creative license. The whole thing now works together. And if you are not sure, you don't have to go buy the big can of paint. Get your testers.
Definitely test it out first in this space. It'll give you a lot of peace of mind for sure.